Hey guys, I'm back and we are playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Doing a Master of Mastery stream today. We're going to be checking out a shotgun, one of the base weapons. It's the last shotgun. We've done the other two, but I couldn't do this last one because I was too scared to do it on the regular maps. I didn't want to do shotgun gameplay and then potentially be dumped into like Wasteland or some other nonsense where the shotgun's just not going to be anything of worth. But they've got a small map mosh pit. Finally, they brought back a small map mosh pit, so we have a few various small maps that we can run around with the shotgun and get a little bit more variety as far as small map gameplay goes while utilizing the shotgun. So that's the plan for today. We're going to be doing the shotgun and checking it out. Let's go ahead and see what's what. So it's the Haymaker that is the last shotgun that we're going to be checking out as far as base weapons go. I've done the other two already in previous streams. This is the go-to shotgun that I've been using for like gameplay whenever I have shotgun gameplay to do. I honestly don't know if it's more forgiving as far as the way the shotgun plays and stuff like that. But I think I like it. I was going to say I think I prefer the Lockwood 680 as far as traditional shotgun action goes, but for the most part, like it's just too unforgiving that becomes viable for the most part. Whereas this one, a little bit more on the cheesy side, you can spam the trigger a little bit and just blast away. So making it quite a bit more forgiving and hence a little bit more viable in maybe dicier connections and stuff like that, which often this game puts me in, right? So let's go ahead and see what the camos are and what needed to be done. So yeah, with all the primary weapons, there are 4 base camos, 4 universal camos to unlock for your various weaponry once you level up this gun and complete the challenges. The first one being Pink Sands, that you need to get the gun to level 2 and then just get 50 kills with the weapon. Guts, get the gun to level 9 and get 50 hip fire kills. Hip fire is when you're not aiming down sights, so just shooting from the hip. You can run around, which most of the time you're going to be doing with a shotgun for the most part anyway. You rarely want to aim down sights with it. Sometimes you do, but more times than not, you want to get into hip fire range and just start blasting away. So not a difficult challenge or request as far as challenges go. Palette Tropics. Get the gun to level 15 and then get 10 operator kills while aiming down sights. This time you want to aim down sights and blast away, but only 10 kills, so it's not a huge request, but yeah. And then Smooth Satin, get the gun to level 22 and then get 15 double kills. Yeah, just go into the small maps, whatever it be, like shipment hopefully, and you can just run around blasting away with it and it should be good. Once you've completed the base challenges, you'll unlock the Gold Challenge or the Gilded Challenge. That's the Gilded Challenge in this game. And this requires you to get 2 operator kills shortly after sprinting in 1 life. So 2 kill streak while running around. So yeah, maybe build the gun for a good sprint out time and just run around and shoot. Just one thing, when I did this challenge, I did notice if I slid and then got the kill, it wouldn't track towards this challenge. So for the kills to count for the challenge, make sure you're running and then just going into a straight sprint to fire a shot to kill them or aim down sights or whatever and kill them. If you slide after running and then get the kill, those don't count. So yeah. I mean, at least that's what happened when I did it. I don't know if they fixed or changed that. I don't think they would have, because it's not shortly after sliding, shortly after sprinting. So if you slide and then get the kill, it doesn't track that. Once you've completed the Gilded Challenge for this weapon and you have 3 Gilded Challenges completed with shotguns, you'll unlock the Forge Challenge, which requires you to get 3 hipfire kills with 1 magazine 15 times with the Haymaker. I don't know if they fixed this. They might have very well fixed this since I did it. When I did it, there was bugginess to it. One of the bugginess was after you got the 3 kills, if you didn't reload your gun, it wouldn't track beyond that. So make sure after you've gotten the 3 hipfire kills with the 1 magazine to reload your gun so you can continue making progress on the challenge for multiple ticks in a single game. The other thing that was buggy about it, and I suspect, but I'm not 100% certain, that they might have fixed this, but I haven't been able to test it of late just yet. But this might have been fixed. But when I did the challenge, this was doable over the course of multiple lives to a certain extent. So I don't know how it tracked, but it was tracking a little bit buggy in a good way. Whereas even if you died and then you got like a third kill and you haven't yet reloaded, that would count towards the challenge. Again, they might have fixed this and it was tracking funny. And even on top of the tracking funny, you have to worry about making sure you reload so you can make multiple ticks in the game and all that. So this challenge just is buggy in a weird way. And I believe even last season, there was a whole point in time where this particular set of challenges for a lot of the weapons weren't tracking at all because it just got bugged out. So like it just, no one could complete a lot of the weapons that had similar challenges like that. I think they fixed that for sure. So now it should be tracking regardless, but whether the other bugginess has been fixed or not, I don't know. And then once you've completed the Forge challenge and you have 36 Forge challenges completed, you will unlock the Priceless Camo Challenge, which requires you to get 10 double kills while in tack stands with the Haymaker. So tack stands is that new feature that you have in the game. On the default control layout, when you're aiming down sights, if you hit the down arrow key, you go into this kind of semi-aim down sights, hip fire stands. That's what the tack stands is. I would definitely recommend either looking into your settings to just make sure the buttons and all that and the way tack stands functions is best to your liking. And then the other tip for tack stands is there's a lot of attachments that benefit, like give you additional tack stand benefits. So it tightens up the spread and stuff like that. Some that make it worse, right? So when going for this challenge, maybe you want to build a gun for tack stands specifically. And like I said, check your settings also because there are options for tack stands that might benefit your way of playing and utilizing the tack stands like feature. Once you've completed the mastery grind on this weapon and you have 36 Priceless Camo Challenges completed, you will unlock Interstellar. So yeah, those are the Camo Challenges. This is the build that I was using when grinding out the Haymaker and what I still use at the moment. I don't know if it's the best build, but this is what I use. Bryson improved choke for hip fire and tack stand spread, tighter pellet spread, damage range at the cost of recoil control and aim down sight speed. The Stovall DR laser box, hip recoil control, hip fire and tack stand spread. The no stock mod, sprint to fire speed, movement speed, aim walking speed, aim down sight speed at the cost of gun kick control, recoil control, aiming idle sway, and flinch resistance. The 20 round drum, magazine ammo capacity at the cost of movement speed, aim down sight speed, reload quickness, and sprint to fire speed. Noni, stop bugging Pishpash. These two, man. I mean, Pishpash is a loud one. She sometimes just screams for like, she's a bit dramatic. But Nuni tends to bug her also. Blitz tactical grip, sprint to fire speed, attack stand spread at the cost of recoil control and gun kick control. So yeah, this is the build I used. These are the stats for the build in case you're interested. Movement speeds at 4.9 m-s. What's up, Ondridge? How you doing? So I decided that I will do a second stream today so we can utilize the small map mosh pit and just get this over with. So that's what we're gonna do. Because I don't want to do shotguns on regular maps, dude. It gets too painful. But yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Honestly, I've actually been debating on, what's it called? Stopping this Master of Mastery stream. I just in my head, I want to complete it this year. But in my other head, it's like, man, do you really want to? Maybe just stop it now as opposed to trying to push through the whole year with it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. 100.
The enemy's taken the lead. Kill confirmed.
I'm gonna do 110. Change this down to 6.
Hostile eliminated.
They've got an advanced UAV already. How did that miss, man? How did that miss again, dude? Move, man. I don't know what the fuck to even say about that, dude. I'll read your comments in a bit, Andre. It's a little hard to read your comment while doing this shotgun gameplay. They spawned behind me. Are you kidding? Unless you can... Oh, man. I wish you could jump around this and go around it. Like you could back in the shipment days. Like for... Was it Vanguard? That would be a good flank for that little spot. Oh, I don't know what the... honestly, I try to avoid the whole like community stuff because of how toxic some of these games get. There's one time, this was like my breaking point. This was when I like just turned off the mics altogether. I was playing Gears of War, like the original Gears of War. And that's a pretty mature game, the way like it plays and stuff like that, and just the visuals and stuff. And I got into a lobby, and there was a kid, like couldn't have even been a teenager. Like he was probably like like 10 and below, is my guess. He was that young, right? And the whole time, like, he just kept on, like, screaming, like, homophobic slurs, basically. And the sad part was he was really bad at the game, too. Like, it wasn't even like he was good. Like, I was, like, basically carrying the team, and the whole game through him and... The sad thing is, like, the other members of the team were just laughing along and just encouraging him to, like, keep going about it. And it just went on for the whole match with this kid just screaming these homophobic slurs. And, like, I'm pretty comfortable with my sexuality. Like, I know I'm not gay or anything like that. I know I'm straight and but man, when you're sitting there in, like, a mature game, shooter game, and you're listening to a kid that is less than half your age screaming this shit and getting away with it. After that, I just muted up, dude. I stopped playing Gears of War altogether. That basically ruined Gears of War for me. Like, I was really good at that game too. and I just stopped playing it altogether. I just couldn't take it anymore. What the fuck? But yeah, after that I don't really like going into game chat. And it was for like no reason. It wasn't like he was trash talking or anything. He was just like being a dumb kid. And it's like, dude, I just didn't want to deal with it after that. Like, I understand why the anti-toxicity stuff and all nowadays. Because it literally got to the point where, like, kids thought they could just get away with saying anything online for a long time. Like, I actually genuinely believe, like, kids that are underage and shit, they should just automatically be muted up. Like, they shouldn't even be allowed to, like, participate in public chat. Like, it wasn't even like, I'm used to like hearing that kind of like toxic stuff. I think more than anything, that what really aggravated me is like it's a kid saying that stuff, right? Like, I honestly, like, if I heard a kid saying that stuff, or like, I wouldn't even bat an eye if his parents started beating the shit out of him. Like, that would not surprise me one bit that the parent did something like that to a kid, like, that speaks like that. But I mean, to a certain extent, I used to have pretty toxic language when I was a young kid too. So I get it. But man, when you hear it as an adult coming from the kid, you realize how bad it is. Like, what a fucking disgusting sound it comes from. It's like the squeaky voice of a kid, right? Where that just gets irritating to hear.
Marking coordinates.
No, I mean, now there's plenty of opportunity. I think people that like complain about toxicity, like especially verbal toxicity, or they get like butthurt about that shit. I think like it's a mute argument nowadays because there's plenty of like every game has like ways to mute up chat and stuff like that. There's no reason you need to be participating or put yourself through it at all. So yeah, I think the whole like moderating chat, the way like games are doing it now, like using AI to moderate what you're saying and stuff, and then you can get like voice banned and stuff. That's become an extreme result of the toxicity that was kind of present in gaming, to the point where I don't necessarily agree with that level of extreme. I think most levels of toxicity and stuff like that, like whether it's text chat, voice chat, or whatever, the only thing the game companies need to be responsibly doing is just giving you the option to mute that stuff, so you don't ever have to participate in it. That's more than enough. Anything beyond that, it becomes a little bit too much. But I do agree, like, even if you hear someone being extremely racist and saying things that they shouldn't be saying, they should be reported, and they should face consequences for their thing. In fact, there was one time, there's one time I was in, this was during Advanced Warfare, COD Advanced Warfare. So this was after the Gears of War thing. But most of the time I've stopped, like after that I stopped using voice chat and stuff like that. But back then I don't think I had voice chat muted up. I don't think that was an option or anything. But I basically didn't participate. I didn't plug in my like head, like I didn't turn on my mic. But one guy got so pissed at me, he like started like death threatening me and shit like that. Like, and he's like, I'll hack your computer, I'll come and kill you and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, Jesus Christ, dude. But in that scenario, I did report him because I was like, dude, this guy's gone over the top. But it didn't offend me half as much. But yeah, and like, you go to that extreme where you're fucking death threatening them and stuff like that, dude, you shouldn't be playing the game. Like, you're taking a game too seriously. I don't know what happened to him. Like, but after I reported him, I never saw him again. I don't block. I usually don't bother blocking people. Like, I mean, because the block feature doesn't actually work properly in this game. At least back in the day. So there's no point in blocking them. Like back in the day, what would happen is if you block somebody, they would still put you in the lobby with him. But you get a message saying, "Oh, someone is in this lobby that's in your block list." So you still get dumped into these like blocked lobbies that you trying to avoid. It didn't really matter blocking them or not. But I suspect the report did do something because after that I never saw that guy play the game again. And like he used to be teamed up with friends of his, and like his friends didn't say anything that harsh. They didn't go that extreme, and I still matched up against his friends, but I never saw. He used to get pissed. Like I know exactly why he got pissed too. He used to get pissed because my ping like would be red bar all the time because I had bought the DLC packs and no one in Asia had bought the DLC packs. So the only people I'd match up against are like people in Australia and stuff like that. And I had to basically join friends to even get matched up into those lobbies. So I always had red bar. And I used to just camp the shit out of that game because like there's nothing you can do when you're red barring. So he used to just... I understood why he got mad, but it's not like my fault, dude. Fucking game's fault for like not matching me up with closer connections. Just be like, why are you coming into my Australian servers, man? You're hacking into the game, you're coming into the Australian servers. Like, dude, I'm not hacking the fucking game, dude. And the sad thing is, back in the day, the way, like, thing is... Like, if I was put into those lobbies, those would no longer be dedicated server lobbies. They'd be like P2P lobbies. So, like, he was completely wrong about, like, me going into the like Australian servers. I don't think I ever was on the Australian servers. I just think whenever I was in his lobby, it would be a P2P connection, and it would piss him off. Advanced Warfare sucked, man, because of like the connections I was forced into. I actually really liked the game, but like because I had bought the DLC packs, like I had bought like the special edition, so I got all the DLC like content, right? But I was playing from India, and no one else had bought the DLC packs, so it basically like separated the audience. Yeah, back in the day, man, DLC packs were a scam, dude. Because of how they would segregate the audience. Oh, crap. What is this? Like, this is so much a better system nowadays. This is so much a better system where, like, the maps and all, they don't segregate, like, player base. I mean, honestly, the easy fix would have been for me to just delete the, like, DLC maps. And then I probably would have connected to, like, more people in Asia. But I refused to do that because I had paid money for the DLC packs. So I was like, I'm not deleting it. So the whole time of Advanced Warfare, I would just, whenever they would put me in a lobby, I would send friend requests to everyone in the lobby. And whoever added me as their friend, I would just session join them. Because that was the only way I could get into games. Otherwise, it just simply wouldn't put me into any matches. And the joke is with Advanced Warfare, was I actually max prestiged in that game. Playing red bar, like connections the whole way through. The entire game's life, I played red bar. And I still max prestiged it. Like, I've got like the royalty, like, armor in Advanced Warfare. Like the royalty suit, exosuit, the full set. It's probably the first game that I actually like max prestiged. Before in like Modern Warfare 2, 3 and all, like I got very high high prestige levels. And because I switched from Xbox to PlayStation, I kind of double prestiged. But I don't think I have a max prestige. I got very high though in most of the games that I played, prestige-wise. But I'll tell you another thing. After all those years of prestiging, this new prestige system, as far as not resetting your rank and the grind, I prefer that. It level capping you, I don't prefer. I don't like the level cap, but I hated resetting everything. I always hated the reset. I just exploded myself. Oh, there's this one.
Friendly UAV on station.
I might actually buy. I've been trying to like mentally convince myself that to buy a bundle. There's a bundle I like in the store. I'm trying to mentally convince myself to buy it. You'll see. Maybe I will.
Hostile UAV in the area. Enemies taking the lead.
Huh?
Friendly care package on the way.
No, I'll read your comments in a bit. Hang on, Andrej. It's a little hard for me to. Dude. The stun spam in this team.
Hostile UAV in the area.
Eh.
Requesting recon.
Hostile bomb drone is active. Friendly UAV on.
Ah, that stuck him, man. How did he get away with that?
Good work.
That's actually not a bad idea. You know, I think that might be a good way, like, to prevent the toxicity. What you're saying, I don't know if I've misread you, but the idea that I'm thinking is maybe like limit chat. Like, you can't be in public chat unless you're like a certain level in the game. Like, you have to reach level 55 minimum to be in public chat. If you're in private chat and you're chatting with your friends and all, that's different. But if you want to be in public chat, you have to like be a certain rank. That way, if you're being very toxic in public chat, then, you know, you're going to lose a little bit more. You potentially could lose your account, right, that you put time into. It's similar to what they've done with the ranked mode, right? Like, you can't play the ranked mode unless you're a certain rank. Like I said, I think chat and all, like, there is a bit of privilege to it, right? Like, it's not your right. It is a privilege that needs to be earned. And if you abuse it, you should lose it. But yeah, like, and this doesn't prevent people, like, if you like limit them to like level 55, it doesn't prevent them from chatting with their friends. But it might limit the toxicity. But then the sad thing is, like, the problem with the toxicity with games and stuff like that, the whole idea of gaming and all is the social aspect of it, right? Like, it's a way for people, youngsters and all, to meet new people that have similar interests and all that. And that's the ideal scenario. But the way the gaming is gone, it's like become more competitive and this, that and all. Like, it's like they've drifted away from that social aspect anyway from it. Oh my god. This is a horrible map for shotguns, honestly.
We have taken the lead.
Reloading.
Losing Alpha. Taking Charlie.
I don't know, man. Like I said, I think the safeguards they've already implemented, it should be enough. Anything more than that is overkill.
Fire.
Charlie. UAV standing by.
Like, it should be just enough that you can, like, if you're too stupid to mute up the chat and you like get offended by it, it's your fault. In the end of the day, it really is.
Requesting recon flyover. Not dying.
But I mean, I get it to a certain extent. Like, if you don't want to mute up and then suddenly you hear this like extreme levels of toxicity, it can be kind of like off-putting.
Requesting recon flyover.
Enemy UAV active. Objective Bravo secure. Hostile UAV in the air. Enemy UAV active.
Reloading.
I mean, there's no easy solution, I guess, to dealing with fucking degenerates. in the end of the day, like companies and all can do whatever they want, like to prevent this, but the result is it's just bad parenting. That's the bottom line. Being poorly raised, just that. That's just the bottom line of it. And like I said, I've done it, man. I'm not an innocent child that, you know, like I was very bad when I was young. I was a bad kid. But as an adult, when you see the kind of
Taking Alpha. Enemy securing Bravo.
Missed me.
Securing objective Alpha.
like I was a really bad kid. Like I had a real bad potty mouth.
We're taking Charlie. Friendly UAV on station.
Like I think as a kid, you know,
Securing objective
you say some of this stuff thinking it's more for joke. You know, you don't actually mean it as a racial thing. But unfortunately, they are racial and it is toxic and completely like not a good thing. Like it's not a joke at the end of the day.
Taking effective fire.
Like that's kind of like how I justified a lot of like. I mean, I think. Like for me, when I was a kid, I used to like tease and like stuff like that to my friends, right? Like it was just a joke, and I think most of my friends understood that, right? Like that it was just a joke, and we would kind of like banter like that. But I think there's often times where you would tease somebody that you kind of like treated like a friend, but they weren't technically your friend that you should be saying that stuff to, right? And in those scenarios, and this happened to me often as a child, and I'm probably very guilty of it. It's something I regret often. I probably would have been considered a bully by them. That's the reality of that behavior. Like, you're teasing them and all that. They're not your friend. They don't get it. It's just bullying. And then the other day, right? Like, a lot of my potty mouth and stuff was just me, like, being very, like, I'd cuss a lot and stuff like that. But, like, I wasn't, like, I mean, dude, you think about it as a child and all, there's definitely instances, like, I think it wasn't racism, but, like, we used to, like, do, like, a lot of that homophobic jokes, right, as a child. That was completely inappropriate as an adult. And there were definitely some individuals that were homosexual that we'd make those jokes. And that was definitely not okay, right? Yeah, it's definitely a big regret of mine, the way I behaved as a kid. I mean, not much I can do about it now, and try not to do that anymore. But yeah, I mean, it's on another level sometimes when you're doing it like online, the people, like the kids you encounter online. Like, I don't think I was ever that extreme about it. But I mean, there was stuff that I regret, and I do definitely probably, and not definitely, I guarantee those would have been considered bullying. in those days. Like, there's no other way around it.
We're losing our
No other word for it.
enemies securing Bravo. We control 2 objectives. Enemies taking Bravo. Friendly care package delivered. Securing objective.
I don't know.
Taking effective fire. Changing mag.
The one thing I'm glad, the one thing I'm so happy is
Friendly UAV.
I didn't do that shit online.
Enemies taking Alpha.
Like, that stuff won't be, like, the stuff I said and all, that stuff won't be recorded. Whereas kids nowadays, they say this shit, like, publicly on Twitter and stuff, and they don't understand, dude. That shit's being recorded.
Enemies taking Bravo.
You don't know who is recording and how and all that, and you might think you're, like, being anonymous about it. But you're not.
Taking fire.
Like, nowadays, when I talk about it, it's like just me admitting that I was wrong about it. But there's no proof. If I wanted to deny it and act like holier than now, you know, and like I never did this and all, there'd be no proof that, like, it'd just be hearsay if someone said, no, you did say those things. Whereas kids today, dude, you'll just pull out an old tweet of some idiot and it's like, here's the proof. You were like that.
We're gaining ground.
I'm with you.
Enemies securing Bravo. Securing objective Charlie. We have secured the field. Mission accomplished.
I maxed out the Evolver yesterday. I think it's less than 20. I think it was only like 19 or something like that. Like I said though, like when you're a kid and you do this stuff, I don't think you like there's no way like most of these kids fully comprehend like that they're bullying or they're being racist or like this or that. For them it's just something funny, it's a joke, right? Like they don't fully understand the thing. I certainly didn't. And like I said, I was definitely guilty of some of it when I was young. I always wonder also, like, because I wonder if, like, a lot of adults feel the same way I do. Because I feel like extreme guilt for some of the stuff I did when I was young. Like, not like, I mean, I was never, like, so bad that I was, like, a horrible person. But I do feel guilty about it. You know, like, I regret a lot of the stuff I did as a kid. And I wonder if, like, most adults feel that way, like, about their childhood. Or do they just, like, don't even remember that this was what they were when they were young? I mean, honestly, I wonder, man, because
Taking fire.
I do think about a lot of the fuck, man. I do think about a lot of the mistakes I made as a child. Like, I do regret a lot of.
Contact. Nice. Wolf.
Securing Charlie. Objective Alpha. The enemy holds all objectives. Hostiles may be in the area. Friendly UAV on station. We're taking Bravo.
I mean, definitely me thinking about it and stuff like that is the reason I wouldn't do it as an adult, right? So the lessons learned. Well, worth it, I guess.
Wolf. Бражи, брать. Covering. Attack fire. Nice. Taking effective. Requesting recon flyover. Taking fire.
Enemy securing Charlie.
Watch your fire.
What's up, Staya?
Securing objective Alpha. Enemy taking Bravo.
Recording people when there's drama.
We control Alpha. Objective Bravo.
That's what I mean, man. Being a kid in today's age is fucking gotta suck, dude. Because like I said, most of these kids and all, I guarantee they don't mean the stuff they say and do. They just think it's a funny joke.
Taking effective fire.
Like if I was recorded as a kid, dude, I'd be like canceled 10 times over.
Enemies deploy the counter UAV. Friendly UAV on station. We're taking Bravo.
Taking fire.
How did that not kill him, man?
Just set your run. Loading.
I hate it when they spawn me in this bathroom, dude. Such a weird spawn, dude. It's so weird also. I have a lot of memories of where I would stand up against bullies, like, and stuff like that. Like, I do have memories of that, like, where, like, there were bullies and I would stand up against them and, you know, like, stop them from bullying friends and other people. But then when I think about it and stuff like that, there's definitely been times where I'm like, man, I was probably the bully there in these certain scenarios. Not all, like I said, there's times where I stopped the bullying or stopped the bully. But like in hindsight, there was probably times where I was probably considered the bully because of the way I was behaving. I'm telling you, as kids and all, you just don't understand this shit, dude. You just don't. And the way the world works nowadays, it's just so unfortunate. Like, you can't make those mistakes anymore. Like, as a child, it feels like. Or you can't do it to those extremes, that's for damn sure. I guess you can still make those mistakes, but then you need to learn very quickly, otherwise it's gonna blow back in your face very fast. Yeah. I mean, I guess everyone does, right? Guess that's gotta be normal.
And secure their tag. Secured the lead.
It always blows my mind when adults behave like that, though. I mean, I guess there's always instances. I think it's just like sometimes, like, even as an adult, I think there's certain things that will trigger you to behave like a child, right? And that's when these things like kind of blow up.
Changing mags. Mosquito is online. Knock one.
Effective fire!
Ready on station.
Please.
UAV active.
Watch your fire!
Watch it. Rocket launcher prepared.
No. I kind of want to go back to my old sensitivities. I feel this one you just sort of can spam, it doesn't really matter. Having the lower sensitivities.
Fight your team.
Watch your fire!
Yep.
Knock one. Mission time is half complete. Secure the victory. Friendly UAV online.
Oi. Back down. Don't try to melee someone with a riot shield on their back. Just go elsewhere. Don't bother. Yeah, I definitely have good memories. Like, I think the bulk of my memories are good. Like, I think that's why I tend to be like pretty happy with my life and content, even though I've done jack shit for the most part. But I do have a lot of regrets also at the same time. I think definitely the good memories and the good times outweigh the bad, but there are a lot of bad also. A lot. It's not all perfect. I think the good memories and all, it has a lot to do with the people that surround you also at the same time, right? Like I think if you have good family and your friends were like good too, tend to have good memories also. But yeah, I've screwed up a lot in my life. I've done so much. I've fucked up so much in my life, dude. There's no doubt about that. Let me just give my cats their food. All right, all right. What? God damn it! I stunned myself, dude.
Taking effective fire.
The mission is complete. Good work.
Dude, that same Camo guy killed me so many times. I thought he was sweating so hard, but he is just dying so much. Dude, really? Most of his kills was probably me only. He kept on killing me, man. We'll do a bonus section. I want to complete this event. So I'll do a little bit of bonus section. But let's do the outro for this nonsense. Haymaker shotgun completed. Finally, we finished the shotgun category as far as base weapons go. This is a fun shotgun. It is fun. It is very trolly, but it is fun also. Like the way you can just spam it and run around with it. I actually kind of like my build for it. It's a weird looking build, I think. And like, it's kind of like this unwieldy, large magazine trolley build, I think. But it works. It works for what this gun uses, you know. Camo Challenges weren't too bad on this one either, so like I think it wasn't. It worked out. It worked out. So yeah, I've been thinking about it of late. Like I don't know if I want to do these Master of Mastery streams anymore, honestly. Like it doesn't get like it's not so much so this a reason, but this is also partially part of my mindset, right? It doesn't get particularly that many views after the stream. It's just more of like a categorization of me completing the like camo grind, right, for the weapon. And I do like that aspect of it. But at the same time, it's like, dude, really, who cares? I think more than anything, just the one stream where I've unlocked the camo and I do the stream saying, oh, I've completed the camo, right? And we play with a few different weapon types with the camo equipped. That's more than enough. Doing this whole like Master of Masteries and all, it became an excuse also to play the game. Like, I was like, oh yeah, at least I'll play the game. It gives me a reason to jump on when there's nothing else. But what happened last year, and it's sort of happening this year, not so much not to the extent of last year, but it dragged on. The Master Masteries dragged on so far beyond like the final completion of the like mastery unlock that it sort of became a burden doing them. In the past, the Master Masteries was done like I would do like the camo grind, and those were the Master Masteries, right? So it was actually an actual documentation of the process of completing the camo grind for the weapons to eventually unlock the mastery grind. But the way they've done the camo system nowadays, where you sort of have to keep going back and forth, you do gold, then you have to complete gold for that category, then you do like forge, then, you know, like you're constantly going back and forth to like finally showcase the mastery on all the weapons. It doesn't happen until the very end, right? So yeah, to a certain extent, I'm like, this is kind of a stupid stream now. I don't really care for it. I do. The sad thing is, I've done all the shitty weapons as far as like base weapons go. So the remaining weapons are actually like weapons I'm reasonably competent with. Like there's just a few more LMGs, then battle rifles and SMGs and ARs, right? So it's all the fun stuff, with the exception of a few certain weapons that might be trash, right? But I'm thinking I'll probably try to finish it off this year. I'll keep up with these Master Masteries this year, but I think next year and all I probably won't do them anymore. I just don't really care. Like I've started like enjoying playing other games and all. So having a reason to play Call of Duty or making some nonsense excuse to play Call of Duty, I just don't see the value in it anymore. Like doing the Massive Masteries, like it helps me like complete my prestige grind, right? Like so the seasonal prestige, by doing them I level up, and so that's the reason I jump on. And now also like leveling up the event stuff and all that. So there's reasons to like jump on and have something to do in COD and all by doing them. But I sort of don't care anymore about the prestige grind in this game. Like if I get to it, I get to it, because it's sort of gotten obnoxious the way they've done it. Same with the events. You know, if I can complete it, I'll complete it. If I can't, I think I don't really care anymore. Unless the camo, like, unless the final reward's like amazing, like, who cares, man? Like, I've gotten less interested in the blueprints and stuff like that, right? So, like, a lot of the events that have blueprints tied to them, I'm like, dude, who cares about that either? No. I think a lot of my indifference to the game has sort of like made me reassess what I want to do as far as. Hey, Cutlet, don't be an asshole. Come here. Yeah, reassess the way what I want to actually cover in this game. Like, I feel like, man, if I'm not enjoying the stuff I'm covering, then what the fuck's the point in covering that crap, dude, right? Like, some of the blueprints are so bad, dude. It's like, do I really want to cover them? Partially, like, at the moment, I'm still, like, torn by it, because there are times where I really enjoy, like, even the shotgun stream, the previous one where we were checking out the shotgun, I actually enjoyed playing that, even though that was checking out a blueprint, right? It's just something fun, jumped into the small mosh pit map and just ran around with the shotgun. It's fun. So sometimes it works out, but then sometimes it's so annoying. So annoying. And the same applies to the Master of Masteries, right? Some of the guns and all, it's like super fun to like showcase and just play with and enjoy, right? Like this one, even though when I was doing bad, I was still actually having fun showcasing it and all. I could just sort of like run around with it. There's definitely some guns, like some of the ARs and all that, I know I'm going to enjoy doing the Master Masteries for. But then there's all these other guns where, like, dude, I'm shit at sniping. So it's always just a stressful feeling, like, oh, do I really even want to do the Master Masteries for this nonsense and that, right? But I don't know, man. I've been reevaluating what exactly I want to do streaming-wise, as far as... I actually really like my system that I've built. I do like the system I've built for myself as a streamer, where we have this kind of structure to my streams and stuff like that, right? I actually like that a lot. Yeah, like I think I'm going to be more selective about the stuff I want to like cover. Like I said, I think I'm going to try to push through this year as far as the Master Masteries go. So we will try to cover. Definitely, the goal is to at least do the base weapons, get the base weapon Master Masteries out, because we're so close to completing those. And then I think the DLC weapons, whether I do the Master Masteries for all of them, it just sort of be how much I feel I want to do it or not. Like, dude, I'm already like, I've completed the Stormender and I'm just scratching my head. I'm like, dude, how the fuck do I run around with the Stormender and try to cover that garbage weapon, dude? I'm going to go 0 on like 20 or 30, right? Running around with the Stormender, because that thing can't kill anyone. And it just can EMP people. So it's like, okay, should I just run with a regular gun and then pull out the Stormender every now and then? Or do I run with the Stormender and just troll and doesn't really matter? But in hindsight, it's like, why would I even do a Master of Masteries for that stupid weapon, dude? Who cares if I've completed it or not? And I do get views on these streams, but I think more times than not, it's people who are viewing it is like maybe when the challenges get bugged out or something. I think that's more than anything. Like they're like, oh, the challenge is not working for me. How did this guy do it? Oh, he did it a while ago, so he didn't like suffer the way I'm suffering. Yeah, obviously I didn't. That's why I completed it. That's why it's not incomplete stream, right? But yeah, I just feel, I don't know, been debating all this stuff. Like I said, partially in my head, since I started it, I want to complete it this year. But on the other hand, I've been debating whether it needs to keep going with this nonsense. Like, I think, I know, like, the joke is the alternative to, like, the Master of Masteries is just me playing other games. It's like that, right? It's like maybe I'll go play finals. Maybe when X-Define comes, I'll start playing that. And those streams don't get views at all. Like, there's no, like, views to that shit at all. But I enjoy them more, I think. I just have fun doing crap like that more than, you know, trying to make excuses to play this game sometimes. When there's stuff to do in this game, I enjoy it, right? Like new maps, sometimes the camos are cool, sometimes the events are cool. But, like, I've realized also, like, I've been complaining about this a while, right? They gatekeep so much of their stuff, right? Timing-wise, like, oh, the zombie horde event, you can only do the first set of challenges, and then next week you can do the second set, and then the next week you can do the third set. But by the third week, you can do all 3 sets. So it's like, oh yeah, so there's no rush to doing the first set or the second set. I might as well wait till the third set because it'll be the same thing, right? And the same applies to like playing zombies, and it's just so much shit. But yeah, that's just the mindset going on in my head right now. Like I said, more than anything at the moment, I do want to just sort of push through and complete this year. As far as Master Masteries, definitely base weapons is tentative goal. But yeah, if suddenly I stop doing Master Masteries and it just stops, this is the reason why. It's like, I just don't think there's any value to these streams, in all honesty. It's fun though sometimes. Like I said, the good weapons and the fun weapons, it is fun. It's just a lot of the shit weapons, like, dude, causes more stress than I care for. It's like, why am I doing this? why am I running around with the Basilisk trying to get kills with this garbage pistol when everyone else is just beaming me and fucking slaughtering me? Yeah, right? I might as well just run around with a fun gun that actually can get kills. But yeah, anyway, that's just a little behind my mind thoughts out loud, I guess. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. Check out my streams if you haven't already. I will do bonus sections, so give me a second. Take care. Bye. I mean, the Haymaker is fun. So as much as I'm bitching it out, there are a lot of fun guns still left over for me to do. So we will do some more Master Mastery for sure.